Ever since tabletop games have started, we've been fascinated about one monster especially, dragons. Some games literally make these glorious beasts part of their titles and, well, have become leaders of the genre. Ancient tales from all over the world tell of these creatures in all sorts of different styles. So why should we not be able to play as one? Sure, you have spells to turn into one temporarily, like Dragon Form at 6th rank, or a Druid's Untamed Form at level 12, or summon one to your side with Summon Dragon at 5th rank, or have a Drake as your companion, or your Eidolon as a summoner. But do those really count? Well, now you can play one from level 1. Do be aware that this is technically a third-party ancestry, and therefore a rare one at that, so you will have to speak with your GM to do so. Don't just come rocking up to any table saying that you're playing one without talking to the others. Some random guy on the internet told you you could play one, so it must be fine. So, a place that you can find this information for completely free is on Path Builder. It is a part of it. So let me take you over into Path Builder and look into making a brand new character that is, in fact, a dragon. So welcome over to Path Builder 2e. This is something that you can go to for free online. I will have a link down in the description below. And this is what you will be greeted as when you first start to create a new character. You will have to decide some of the other things that you will allow, especially with the remaster coming out. There is some new things that you will have to decide. But the main thing we're looking for here is to allow Battle Zoo, because this is what introduced the dragon in the first place. So, we'll go ahead and turn that on to allow us to get started on making a new character. So, when we go under our ancestries here in the top left, we'll be able to go under Rare Ancestries. As I said, it is rare. And you'll find the dragon. Fairly typical, 8 hit points for a starting race ancestry. That's not so bad. You are small or medium. This is your choice, which you want to be. Your speed is a base of 25 feet. Again, very standard. Your ability boost is strength or another option based on your heritage. We'll look through some of the heritages. There's, I believe, 47 different heritages available. So there's a lot of different dragons available here. We will be focusing on the ones that are core to Pathfinder, which at least used to be. With the remaster coming, there will be a few more added. Whether they will actually update this with new dragons or we'll have to do that ourselves, we'll have to see. You start with 2 languages, Common and Draconic, which is nice, and an additional language equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier. So dragons do have a decent number of languages to start compared to many others. You start with Dark Vision, and you have 2 very basic unarmed attacks, which normally you will be able to come across better options if you're looking for weapons, but it's always nice to have some weapons on you that cannot be taken from you. Unless you have a really cruel GM that's going to make your jaws no longer work by removing your teeth if you get captured or something. I mean, you know, these things happen. Or take away your claws. That just sounds painful. So we will choose dragon. For a background, we'll do like a artsy dragon. Sure. They like art. So then that really makes me feel like we'll go with a bard. So these are all just your classic options to choose here. There's nothing fancy to choose here. Okay. Now here is the part where you're going to see just the incredible number of heritages that are available. Let's look at the ones that are the most common. You can look at these other ones like an amber dragon or things like that at some other time if you want. But let us look at a classic one, the black dragon. You have a swim speed of 10 feet. Which is pretty slow, but its swim speed is a swim speed whenever you're in water. It stops you from drowning. You can breathe both air and water. Your damage type is acid. This applies to whether you get ancestry feats that allow you to get a breath weapon or a draconic resistance. Your breath shape is a line, and if you choose the additional unarmed feat, you also have Talon Horn. You choose wisdom instead of strength, and your spells are arcane. So you'll find that most of these are fairly similar. Yes, you will not be able to fly around with really hard scales and breathing your breath weapon and doing all of these things as a dragon. You have been contained. This is something to keep balance, obviously. You can't do all of that, not at level 1. If you take all of the ancestry feats, when I played a dragon, I took Ancestral Paragon at level 3 so I could get another ancestry feat and start to really feel more like a dragon. We'll go through more of the feats in a moment. Blue dragons, very similar. You get draconic resistance, electricity. You can choose charisma. Brass dragons, draconic resistance, fire, line. Again, so none of these are especially all of that, different. They are pretty similar, but you could use intelligence instead of strength as your first ancestry boost. So you could really use these to pick whatever one best fits you. Hey, copper. I played one of those. That was fun. Didn't go very far, but I enjoyed them. There's golds, there's greens. You can look through these in more detail if you wish. You go ahead and pause. But I don't want to make this video necessarily particularly long. Red dragons, silver dragons. All of the classic ones are here. And the white dragon as well. So there are many, many that you can choose from here. Feel free to, if you have weirder ones like that, you can go ahead and pick them. Again, talk with your GM if these even exist in the world, because many of these I've never even heard of outside of here. But you can still also do mixed ancestries if you really want to be crazy with this. There's all sorts of different things that you can select with this. So for our bard here, brass, they don't shut up. Sure. They are brass and they don't shut up. So here are, let us just go over the ones that are generic feats that you can pick. There are so many feats in here because, like, indigo dragons, dream dragons, magma dragons, all these random dragons also have their own unique ancestry feats that you can pick. So I'm just going to go over the ones that are more general for all dragons. Again, I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. So again, you can pick your additional unarmed attacks to get additional attacks. They give you a few extra traits compared to the other ones, but again, if you're really looking for a weapon, you're going to want better. So this isn't bad, it's always good to have, but change shape is something that if you're not playing in a campaign of all dragons, or a campaign where, being a dragon could get you targeted because people want your blood and scales or whatever for certain things. Being able to change shape into a humanoid, guys, usually a human, is very important. Many other races have had similar things to this, such as the Kitsune, so this is not all that uncommon. You get to choose any cantrip that you want from the same tradition as your initial dragon. This will become especially clear when we start using dragons from the remaster that have all the more connotation to them of just being purely tied to those. You can get your breath weapon starting at 2d4 and going up by a d4 every 2 levels, going up to a maximum of 10 d4 damage at 19th level, which again isn't the most amazing of damage, but it's AoE. When if you play any class that doesn't have access to AoE and stuff, there could be very interesting. Draconic lore, this gives you your bonus skills as per usual and the lore. Empower scales allows you to turn your scales into slightly more dense armor. You can use them basically as leather armor for +1 item bonus and a dex cap of 4. Empowered wings allow you to jump further and are part of the line in which allows you to eventually be able to get closer and closer to flight until eventually you actually can fly for at least bits of time. Horde Hauler allows you to actually haul more things because it gives you a hefty hauler and you are trained in the athletics feat. Intellect skill. Excuse me. Reptile Speaker. This is only available to some of them, but you can actually use diplomacy when speaking with reptiles. It seems like, you wouldn't want to say that you are related to them at all, but so be it. And here's a way that you can get a really heavy armor, but you have to have a strength value of 16 to overcome the usual speed and armor check penalties. So do be aware of that. For those of you who don't understand what a strength value of 16 means because of the remaster, this would be +3. So those are all of the level 1s that are available to everyone. Now, if we go up here, sort by level, we can now look into the level 5s. As you can see, there are so many level 5s that I don't want to go over every single one of them. Yeah, so here's one that you can increase your swim speed if you're... There's so many of these that are very specific. Here's one that lets you take on an animal form. If you're a reptile speaker, you can become an animal speaker to talk with other animals. You can, if you're occult dragons, you can do this. And there's just so many things. But here's one that's more general, like Draconic Pride. Unbeatable, insurmountable, monumental, and more than a mere mortal, so nothing can defeat you. Or at least in your arrogance, you convince that. Reduce your frightened condition by 1 for 1 action once per hour. And then for 1 minute, whenever you become frightened, reduce the frightened condition by 1. But just like with the Kobolds one, which is kind of fun along these lines, if you critically fail a saving throw against a fear effect, the effect ends and you increase the frightened condition you gain from the failure by 1. So it's a lot like the fun Kobold one, where it makes a lot of very strong things go one way or the other. You gain bonuses against things that would put you to sleep or paralyze. These things that naturally dragons are very well known for being good against, or increase your saving throw from a success to a critical success. And reduce its duration. You can get sent to improve those senses that dragons are well known for. Again, if you want to push through that line to start getting to be able to where you can see everything. You can gain temporary hit points equal twice your level for a round as 1 action once per day. There's many different things. There's a way to empower your wings here. There's a way to increase your breath weapon in here. There's many different things depending on what you want to focus on. It all depends on what you want to do. So this is really just how you get to play a dragon. There's many different things that you could do. I almost always take dragon breath. Or dragon shaped, or chain shaped, depending on what they want to do. And so yeah, this would be brass dragon. That's fire. And sure, we'll make him a cute little small bard. There we go. And other than that, you add gear, spells, everything else, just the way you normally would for any other character. And so this is how you get to create a dragon that you get to play, you get to be and enjoy the world with. It's amazing for someone like me who's always loved dragons, and just being able to actually get to fully play one is a lot of fun. Though, do know it won't work for every campaign. Having dragons running around with your party members can be a little strange, so make sure you check with your GM if this is at all acceptable to them. I love dragons, so if I'm your GM and you join our one-shots or anything, I'll pretty much always say yes. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. And let me know if you get to play a dragon and what antics they get up to down in the comments below. And as always, everyone, remember to be awesome. Until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.